Welcome back to my new video. Today we are going to be fixing an Infinix Spark8C. No display on the screen. First, let's troubleshoot. I thought it was a light problem. Then, after further troubleshooting, I discovered it wasn't a light problem. So this phone only shows indicator light but nothing on the screen. But when powered on, you feel a little bit of vibration showing that this phone is on. So I began to ask what would be the problem. Understand the system of the phone before you do any other thing. Because before you fix any phone, you have to understand the flow charts of the phone's algorithms. To do this, we need a schematic, and thankfully there's a schematic available. So I have to locate the motherboard X6511C. Then first of all, I took out time to see the light IC circuit schematic, just to be sure of what I'm looking at. But I suspect it could be a graphic IC problem. That is the graphic glass IC. This IC there acts as the driver. If you replace it, sometimes it helps to solve the graphics problem. Alright, but before we do anything, we want to check the light source. That light source is one of the basic things we need to make sure if sometimes it doesn't show that it is short-circuited until it is live. Then it begins to cause shorts on the display circuit. But in this case, I'm going to show you everything I did step by step. Now let's look at the lights IC. Graphic display showing how the light IC works. It is made up with a coil, capacitors, but some in case it is more than 3 capacitors and some resistors. I'm just going to show you the functions of these capacitors and the diode. Now this coil in the middle is as a booster for the currents coming in, just to amplify that 30-volt capacitor. Now if that capacitor does not give up to 30 volts, it becomes a problem. The diode maintains the rectification of that current, making sure current flows in one direction. And the 2 capacitors you just saw helps to filter the voltage. Okay, now let's do the work proper. I have to remove the heat sink, not all of them. Just a little part that contains the light IC line. Then I have to plug my battery in and power it on this video. I might have to fast forward it, because this is a voiceover I'm doing. I've already made a video before now. I'm doing a voiceover for us to understand what I did. So I have to power it on, so that the board will be in a live state. I have to test the voltage. So I have to put the phone in a working state now to test if I actually got that 30 volts and everything I'm expecting from the live state. So I'm going to take my time to read it one after the other. As you can see, the reading is accurate. The voltage is complete. That is 2.9, almost 30, because I placed it in a 200 voltage mode, not a 20 voltage mode. That is why you saw 2.9 and 3.1. That should be 30, not 31, just because it's in 200 voltage mode. If it is in 20 voltage mode, you get 30 or 29. So now that I've done this, I am convinced that the light's IC circuit is okay. But something tells me to still test further and see if there are any changes. Maybe, just maybe, I got a false volt. But after further testing, I'm totally convinced it is not a light's IC problem. But again, I have to read this clip to see if the current is actually going to the clip. Because sometimes it could be a line problem. Maybe after testing it will be like, oh, everything is working fine, but the clip has been compromised. With the help of my multimeter, I can see this thing in real time. Now that I've taken off the heatsink, I have to read the capacitors because the capacitor is the short. Because if it's giving you short circuits, then you have to remove it, and the problem should be solved. But in this case, there is no short circuit. It's working just fine. So I have to prepare myself very well to remove the display IC driver. In this video, I'm not going to show you how I did it, but this is what I did. I removed it and replaced it, and the phone started working. So I'm going to remove it now for you to see, and I'm going to place it back. Then test the phone, so I'll quickly remove it. I might have to fast forward this video at some point because this is a voiceover, like I said before. And if you've not followed Big Felix's repair, please do so, like and share. This is the IC I showed you on the schematic. If you look at it very well, you notice it's glass-like. It's common in every phone, so you can get it from a donor board, or you can just order it online. And now that I've changed it, Now let's test and see. Hopefully this solves the problem. This has to work. Let's just test and see. As you saw in the beginning of the video, this is the part where I told you that the results were actually successful. Thank you for watching, and please do like and share this video until I come your way again. I remain Big Felix. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to this page and channel.